Warning, this chapter of Distance Nerding was recorded live, which means there may be strong language unsuitable for children and unusual humor, which may be unsuitable for everyone who claims to be human. Parental discretion is advised.
Distance Nerding.
Hey! See, that's why I turned my headset
down. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is another wonderful Thursday, and we have mixed up everything. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You are now watching Distance Nerding, listening if you are listening on the podcast apps and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, you are now experiencing Distance Nerding. I am your boy, Young Phil. He is the beard attached to the man that is Graveyard. And of course, he is the Jahmez 5000. And we're here to nerd together.
Together. Is he? Did you decide to mute your mic there, John?
We're here to nerd together. Talking about anything pop culture, movies, news, music, food, wrestling, comics, Comic-Cons, whatever you're nerding out on, we want to talk about it.
That's right. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching on YouTube, as you should be, then of course you want to hit that subscribe button, listen on any podcast app, drop us a 5-star review. Of course, you can catch us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, all at Distance Nerding. Ladies and gentlemen, we got merch. That's right. We got merch, people, and so can you. Head over to our website, www.streamlabs.com/distance-nerding/merch. Get you some of that sweet, sweet merch, guys. Now is the time. Why? Because we have dope-ass shirts. We have cool-ass things that you can get. We've got, like, mugs and memorabilia and, you know, and cool stuff. Go and get that, guys. Again, that's www.streamlabs.com/distance-nerding/merch. Get in on that merch.
Yes.
That's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have now stumbled onto the worst kept secret on all of the internet because everybody knows about us now.
Everyone?
Everyone. And their mothers. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching Distance Nerding. Yeah, messing with everybody's ears. Let's go. Well, let's get into this. Of course, let's talk about what we got on deck. Jahmez, tell them what we got going on here.
I don't know what we got going on. We got a show produced with precision, powered by chaos, approved by the council, I guess. We are going galactic this week.
Right. But before we go galactic, Jahmez, tell the wonderful people out there about our first sponsor.
Check out Colossus Girl Entertainment fan-focused Comic-Cons across the West Coast, including Beaver State Comic-Con, Metal Arc, Anna Medford, Tri-Cities Powerhouse, which is coming up next, Silver Age Comic-Con, and of course, Gem State Comic-Con, comics, cosplay, vendors, artists, celebrity guests, and so much more. Visit ColossusGirlENT.com. Plan your next Comic-Con.
That's right. All right, let's get into the first part of the news, ladies and gentlemen, because it is now time to talk about everything that's going on this week. Let's go down the Marvel rabbit hole. We're going to go talk with J. Jonah Jameson because, ladies and gentlemen, it is straight from J. Jonah.
Insert transition music here.
Because there's no transition music and Jahmez is not happy about it.
My bad. Okay. It makes us wonder, man. Disney Plus has abruptly canceled Wonder Man, even after internal screenings reportedly earned rave reviews and the series had quietly secured a second season. Sources inside Marvel TV says that the decision stemmed from a strategic shift away from mid-budget character experiments, leaving the complete first season in limbo. This totally sucks.
Yeah. I agree.
I enjoyed Wonder Man. I thought it was a nice, fresh surprise. I don't know what's happening. This is the most baffling Marvel cancellation yet. What did you think of Wonder Man? Does it deserve a season 2?
I thought Wonder Man was great. I thought Wonder Man was probably one of the best TV shows that they've done in a while. Here's the thing. The internal rumors right now, the Disney rumors, this is not even just Marvel, but like the rumors going around is that Disney brass is not happy with the performance of both Marvel and Star Wars TV shows, and they are canceling everything that is live action. They are going to focus on animation for that
The near
stuff
future.
for the new feature on Disney Plus, and they are going back to anything live action is going into film.
Yeah, it's. I believe I also heard that like anything. There's no Star Wars or Marvel TV show in pre-production right now
Right.
at all.
Right. It's the stuff that is already kind of in the can. So, Ahsoka season 2, anything like that. That
Vision
stuff is
Quest.
Vision Quest.
Vision Quest. Like that stuff is all going to come out still, but
Mm-hmm.
they are not planning on going into production for any TV shows. They also said that Iron Wars and Nova, originally both planned to be TV shows, are now going to be converted into films.
Yeah,
That's a definite shift, and I do see Disney doing that. I'm not sure if that's the right method to do this.
I agree with that. I agree with that take. I think that it's not the right method to take. I think that they are not getting the returns that they think that they should be getting. And by returns, they're thinking, I think their thought process is they thought that was going to grow more viewership on the app, and it's not really growing, it's staying steady. And they don't like that. They would prefer that it grows because that means more money for them. Whereas if they convert everything to a film, which they already tried to experiment with The Mandalorian, if they convert everything to a film, then they can put it in theaters, and that guarantees more profit for them.
Oh, they also did that with Moana too. It was
Right.
originally supposed to be a TV show. They combined it together to make one movie.
Right.
But I think I don't think we necessarily need season 2s of things. I really want the X-Men to be introduced in their own single 6-episode TV series, just to get people introduced to them, to have a further backstory before we go full X-Men ensemble team.
Considering the news that we just got yesterday, so I mean, that's we're going to talk a little bit about that. We have
Yeah.
a couple stories that are talking about some of the stuff from that, but and I'm sure they're going to say a lot more at D23. What is it, in 2 weeks?
I think so. Yeah, it's usually
think it is.
mid-August. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going though, because we'll get to the X-Men in a minute.
Right.
So, no educating. Mahershala Ali has officially exited Marvel Studios' Blade, ending a year-long development saga marked by rewrites, director changes, and shifting creative priorities. In a candid comment, Ali said Marvel didn't want to do it. That's it. Signaling a deeper breakdown between the Oscar winner's vision and the studio's evolving direction. Did Marvel just lose one of the most prestige cast wins, or was Blade never going to happen? Interesting.
It's God, this is another one. So I don't know if you guys follow Black Twitter and everything that happens on there, but a lot of it is, there have been a lot of, hey, why is it that the Black properties are the ones that are getting canceled? Now the pushback on that has been, there is a big focus on Black Panther. They made a big deal about, Black Panther is getting a push ahead of everything. But like a lot of the properties that were good, that were Black led, are being completely turned down, or they weren't taken care of in the first place. Blade is something where there was so much hype behind it, and everybody was waiting for Mahershala Ali to be Blade, and Disney just kind of dragged their feet on it. They had multiple rewrites, they had multiple new directors come on, multiple I said rewrites just a second ago, but they had new scripts written multiple times, and I think Mahershala Ali just got dragged along for the ride, and kind of just after a while they were like, yeah, this is not happening, and he was like, I'm moving on to another project, so I'm not gonna stay on this if you guys are not gonna do the project.
But I also think he was looking for the right story as well, and the combination of everything you said just caused that to be like the perfect storm of things that comes to play. And I think we can still see Blade in the Midnight Suns. I think if you're going to do a horror focused thing, we need to focus on horror.
I agree. I agree. I think Midnight Suns is the perfect place. And if Midnight Suns does well, then you go back to Blade having his own solo film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Okay. This kind of ties into this next one. Okay, hear me out. Ghost Rider, the musical. A new industry rumor suggests Ryan Gosling could make his MCU debut as Ghost Rider sooner than expected, potentially through a cameo in an upcoming Phase 6 project. While unconfirmed, insiders say Marvel has been eager to lock down a marquee actor for the supernatural corner of the universe. Is Marvel teasing a slow burn introduction, or is this rumor just fan fuel?
He's shown up in Secret Wars. It's happening. There's no reason why they would be announcing him right now. They could have just waited and said, okay, hey, we'll build up the hype for after this. He's going to be in Secret Wars. For sure, he's going to be in Secret Wars.
If you believe the leaked VFX, there is a Ghost Rider on Battle World.
I haven't seen that yet. What?
Yeah. There's a guy on a motorcycle with a flaming skull. Maybe it's Nova, maybe it's Ghost Rider. Who could say?
100% Nova. Nova has known to be driving around with a flaming skull.
Of course.
That is interesting. But, kind of tying it into what we were just talking about with Blade, maybe if they get, Ghost Rider in and it does well, like maybe that's a launching pad for Blade and the kind of horror corner of the Marvel universe.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they have a big marquee name with Ryan Gosling and Mahershala Ali. Well, now not Mahershala Ali, but a big character to support that Midnight Suns team.
Right. And I mean, Grave, me and you've talked about this multiple times on the Thursday show, on today's show, and talked about if you get Ghost Rider, if you get Blade, and then on top of that, different versions of the team, but you can do Werewolf by Night, you can do Moon Knight, you can do Man Thing is another character. Of course, you can do Doctor Strange. There's so many characters that have been a part of this team that you can link to this.
How is it not the perfect introduction, Midnight Suns, to the new Wolverine?
Ooh. And that's another good point. Is when they do introduce the new Wolverine, it makes sense.
Yeah, because Midnight Suns, the video game, had Wolverine. They're building the hype, and with the Wolverine coming out September 19th.
Yeah,
interesting. I kind of like that. I kind of want to see what the X-Men look like first. But yeah,
I hope they're the first class.
First class, yes.
So there are a lot of speculation. Again, we've got a story that we'll get to on this, and I'll speculate more on there. But there is a story that a lot of people are guessing is going to happen. It's going to be a reverse version of First Class, but it's based on one of the comics. We'll go over that.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we leave Ghost Rider news, or maybe a horror western, Marvel Studios has officially confirmed Ryan Gosling will portray Johnny Blaze in the upcoming Ghost Rider project, marking one of the studio's biggest casting swings in years. Early concept art reportedly leans into a gritty Americana aesthetic, positioning Blade as a haunted drifter rather than a traditional superhero. Is Gosling the perfect reinvention of Ghost Rider, or is Marvel risking another tonal gamble?
I think it's smart, because here's the thing: is Ryan Gosling has been wanting to play Johnny Blaze for a long time. He said he would be willing to play different versions of him, but he wants to do Johnny Blaze because Johnny Blaze is his favorite version of Ghost Rider. I think that given that he is a comic fan, that he is somebody who understands the character, he's somebody who's wanted to play the character, I think it is a very smart way, because Ryan Gosling can play very good dramatic characters, which is what you need with Johnny Blaze. He's also got a lot of good comedy chops. He's also got a lot of good action chops. There are so many aspects to Ryan Gosling's acting style that fits Johnny Blaze so well.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Blaze is the motorcycle version, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the Nick Cage version.
Yeah.
And they say the couple that's been in Ghost Riders together always ride together.
Hey, what are you gonna do? There it is.
Right.
There it is. So I didn't know there was a leaked piece of Secret Wars for Ghost Rider.
They've been filming Secret Wars, man. So I mean, there's different pieces of it that are already out there.
I just think one of like when we eventually see the culmination of all the incursions, cramp everything down, we will see Ghost Rider get crammed into Battle World. And I'd love to see Nick Cage to be the Ghost Rider before Ryan Gosling to pass it on to him.
That would be a good like nod to his version of Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. All right, let's keep it going. Let's get to some X-Men news. You mean Professor Pennywise? Marvel's new search for its new Professor X has narrowed it to 2 finalists. Bill Skarsgård emerging as a leading contender. The reboot is said to be leaning toward a younger, more morally ambiguous interpretation of Charles Xavier, aligning with the studio's push for a fresh mutant identity. Is a younger, edgier Professor X the right move, or does Marvel risk losing the character's gravitas?
I think Bill Skarsgård I think he's a good pick, and the reason I think is because, again, he's such a good character actor. He's so good at creating characters. I think you give him a character that's a little more grounded, but a little more kind of Xavier can be unhinged on the down low. I think he can play that character well. The other rumor that's on here that I know we don't have in the rundown, but the other character that is talked for this, the opposite of him, the talks are saying that Alexander Skarsgård, that his brother, is going to play Magneto.
Oh, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah, and Alexander Skarsgård again would be a good pick for Magneto if they went that route. And you know they're going to have chemistry already.
Yeah, Phil knows one of my 2 ultimate X-Men villains I want to see. I think Skarsgård would be a fantastic Mr. Sinister.
I think Bill Skarsgård would be a really good Mr. Sinister, but the running right now is that Adam Driver is going to be Mr. Sinister, which I'm not against him playing Nathaniel either. Like Nathaniel Essex needs to be somebody who you get that unhinged kind of like crazy genius out of him, right? And Adam Driver can play ready to blow his top really well.
Yeah, I mean, it's if we especially start off with First Class or close to it, we have to have Sinister there from day one, eyeing Cyclops and Jean Grey.
Right. And again, when we get to the next story, I've got another piece of news that I'm going to throw in there, and we'll talk about this too, because it just got announced yesterday.
Cool. I think, just jumping back to the Skarsgård brothers doing this, I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be like very meta and very like ironic that the 2 of them are brothers yet facing against each other, that sort of thing. I think that would be really cool.
But you also get that brother dynamic between Magneto and Xavier.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, more X-Men news. Diamonds Are a Mutant's best friend, Samara Weaving, has officially joined Marvel Studios' X-Men reboot as Emma Frost, signaling the franchise's commitment to building out the Hellfire Club mythology. Insiders describe Frost's role as a pivotal, with her arc reportedly spanning multiple films. I do like that. Is Emma Frost about to become the breakout face of the New Mutant era, or is Marvel stacking too many icons too fast? Thoughts?
So, along with this news, again, so we hear about Samara Weaving playing Emma Frost. We already know. Should I drop a spoiler for Spider-Man? It's only been out a week.
No, because I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, then I will wait on this. But there's other casting on here. They just announced yesterday that Kit Connor is going to be playing Cyclops.
Kit Connor. Well, do we know what he's from?
Kit Connor. Let me see here.
I thought the other guy running was Hoffman's son.
No, yeah. So they officially announced yesterday that Kit Connor is going to be playing Cyclops. And I'm pulling him up right now. It was dropped by Deadline. Kit Connor.
Ready Player One, Rocket Man.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
Dark Materials. Okay, all right.
Well,
So he's been in a
oh,
couple of different things.
I think this is I think that's a good idea for a not necessarily a bigger name for the New Mutants, because Marvel built up their heroes and their people to be big names. So go from the people you might not know and build them up to become the Marvel stars.
Right.
Keep that formula going.
Right.
Instead of just going, hey, who's the hottest person this week? Let's just get them to be so and so.
Right. So I mean, like, here's the big thing: is we have a couple of characters, and there's a couple of names that are being floated for other characters, but a couple of characters that are members of the First Class. Samara Weaving is about 12 years older than the actors who are playing the characters that we're talking about here. And what they're saying is, so if you know Emma Frost's whole thing, like what caused her to go and be a part of the Hellfire Club, what turned her into a villain, temporarily a villain because she comes back. But I mean, what caused her to do that is she lost an entire team. She was a teacher at the at Xavier School, and everyone died. She lost an entire team, and that forced her to kind of like have a break, and she ended up joining the Hellfire Club. What the rumors are is Emma Frost is going to be an earlier class from the X-Men characters that are going to be your mainstay X-Men characters, which means the First Class characters are not necessarily going to be the First Class, but they are going to stay true to the characters.
They may be the first X-Men team with the name X-Men.
Right. Which
before they're called something else.
Right, which would still kind of like, keep them in the realm of being the First Class for X-Men. They wouldn't be the First Class from Xavier School, though, which is what those characters were supposed to be.
Oh, first graduating class.
Right.
That don't die.
First class that doesn't die.
Right.
That's
First
hurt.
non-dead team. Perfect.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I
was gonna say, but I mean, like that's kind of a cool thing. Just seeing that, they're kind of trying to build out an intricate team and history with all the characters and everything like that. And again, I think they said that the X-Men movie is supposed to come out in 2028 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure they're gonna do a full cast announcement at D23. I'm 100% sure that's gonna happen.
With the Hellfire Club, can the next Avengers level threat, culmination movie, be Dark Phoenix as a two-parter?
Well, Feige said he's trying to stay away from Dark Phoenix because it's been overdone already. But
hasn't been done at all properly, I think.
No, well, that's the thing, is that it hasn't been done properly. But I mean, like, multiple film franchises of the X-Men have focused around the Dark Phoenix. So I think what he's trying to do is, hey, let's go away from that storyline and tell other stories, because there's so many other stories and we don't have to keep retreading over the Dark Phoenix storyline. Let's go tell other stories and then we'll revisit Dark Phoenix later. It's the same thing with James Gunn saying, I want to do the New Gods, but it was just done and I don't want to, the way he put it is he doesn't want to trample over Zack Snyder's characters that he just did.
Yeah. I think 5 years, and that puts us at 2033. That's 10 years plus away from the Dark Phoenix, and I think that's good enough time for the next Avengers, X-Men.
Yeah.
And
it might give them time to build up where we know these characters now,
Right.
and that's what we need. Is like, we need to see, like Samara Weaving, we need to associate her with Emma Frost like we associate Hugh Jackman with Wolverine.
Right.
Like, we need to have that kind of recognition.
Like I would rather that we get the Goblin Queen before we get Dark Phoenix. And then I mean, like, if we start telling these other stories, you start having these connections with the X-Men characters the same way that we have connections with the Avengers characters, then when Dark Phoenix happens, it becomes, for at least for generations that don't know about the Phoenix, it becomes that much more of a heartbreaking betrayal when she becomes what she becomes.
Yeah. I just want to see her mentally destroy Magneto and Xavier to create Onslaught for the next phase.
Have you seen Spider-Man yet?
No.
Okay.
Stop talking about it.
We're going to talk about it next, but I mean, let's just say they are setting her up already in a way that is she's going to be they're already showing she's going to be OP.
If she's in the movie. We don't know that for sure.
Most of us do. The movie's been out for a week.
Damn you. Okay. All right. It's the most Spider-Man movie ever. Marvel Studios' Spider-Man Brand New Day has shattered global box office expectations with a massive 360 million opening weekend, marking the biggest debut in franchise history and one of the strongest launches for any superhero film to date, this is like double the amount that Mandalorian and Grogu did.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Analysts credit the film's blend of legacy characters and bold narrative pivots from driving repeat viewership across major markets. Is Brand New Day the new gold standard for superhero openings, or is this just a perfect storm launch? What say you, Mr. I've seen this?
I would say it's a combination of both. It does set a new precedent for superhero movies just because it's more they're maintaining a standard that Marvel used to have, that it used to be, the excellence in the film took precedence. It had a good story. It had they didn't skip over anything or anything like that. They told a very compelling heart-driven story. And it's very good. Now, the action scenes stand out even more because Jackie Chan's team did all the choreography for it. So the fight scenes are just that much cooler than they would have been otherwise. Guys that know how to do wire work doing Spider-Man work is just amazing. And apparently I saw a video this morning of Jackie Chan wasn't in it, and he didn't do any of the choreography, but he came by set to check on the team, and a lot of the actors freaked out because they were like, "Oh my God, it's Jackie Chan! He's a legend."
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I hope this really shows that there's part of me that kind of wants Spider-Man to fail as a film, so then Marvel can just buy him back and have a bigger playground with him.
Yeah. Sony announced, I think yesterday or the day before, something we already knew, but they're canceling all of the side films that they were doing.
You want to call them films, yes?
Yeah, I mean they're films. They're just not good films, but they're films. They're canceling all the side films that they're doing. They want to focus on the larger narrative of Spider-Man working with Disney. So it's like, okay, cool. You guys are finally doing what you should have done in the first place and just sitting back and letting Disney do their thing.
Yeah, Spider-Man has a huge rogues gallery that always has this, and I think I know the characters that are in the film, and you'll be able to have that toy box with your Hulks in there, and you're able to see what Spider-Man can do with other characters versus being just by himself.
Right.
That's awesome. Yeah, what's interesting? This has been such an up and down roller coaster year for movies. Mm-hmm. Like, we'll have movies that either gangbusters or movies that completely tank. And there's barely an in between. It's either they do really well for what their budgets were, or they completely tank, and it's like you get the Supergirl backlash. So I think it's good that Spider-Man doing really well, and it says a lot that there's still a ton of interest in Marvel. You know?
Yeah. Did you see what Brian Beller said on Facebook?
No, what did Boca Beller say?
Boca specifically said he's tired of hearing Spider-Man. We need to stop talking about Marvel. Give Marvel a rest. And James's buddy Boca is very, very vocal, and he's a high level hater. And he said that he's like, oh, you keep talking about Marvel, and I'm tired of Marvel. How come you didn't talk about Masters of the Universe? And I was like, I did multiple times. I'm actually kicking myself that I didn't do a review of Masters of the Universe, and I feel like it might be too late to do it now, but I kind of still want to do it because it's getting a resurgence on Amazon. So it's like, I kind of want to just do it and be like, hey, I'm going to do a review because it's good.
Go for it. Do it.
Yeah.
But, going back to Spider-Man, like $1 billion revenue for the most part already, kind of says people are still into Spider-Man.
Yeah, projections are saying it might hit $2 billion by the end of the run.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Zach in the chat says, do we think Doomsday can beat Spider-Man at this point?
You know, I know Doomsday is going to do really, really well.
I think Secret Wars will do better.
I think Spider-Man kind of blew it out of the water. Nobody expected this, and you also have to keep in mind, Doomsday. Yes, it's going to be a big release. There's also the big Dune Part 3 release that's happening, which is eating up all the IMAX screens.
But that's also why they're doing Infinity Vision, is because it's like, okay, well, if we can't do IMAX, then we're gonna do this new format.
Right.
I think with all the hype behind it, with all of the excitement behind it, Disney is full steam ahead on Doomsday and the marketing for this. The same way that, you know, they I mean, they didn't even market Spider-Man as much as they're marketing Doomsday, and Spider-Man did extremely well just because, you know, we all had the hype behind it. But like right now they've got a lot of steam behind it, but when the second trailer comes out and they really start cooking, I swear people are going to go crazy on this. Plus the Infinity Vision thing is just a marketing strategy, because when you're like, hey, this movie's so good, we have to create our own format for it. It creates intrigue, and more people are going to be like, I want to go see this movie just because I want to see this hype that Disney's got behind it.
Yeah, I agree. But will it do better? Honestly, I'm gonna say no. I'll see what you guys have to say. I'm gonna say Spider-Man does better than Doomsday.
I think Secret Wars will do better than Doomsday.
That's not the question we're asking.
Well, I'm saying yes, Doomsday will not beat Spider-Man, but Secret Wars will.
Okay.
Right. Zach, I agree. Infinity Vision doesn't do anything to move the needle for me, but the thing is for your average fan out there, you know, a lot of people it creates intrigue. It creates, you know, hype where people are like, oh, well, they had to create a whole new thing for it, even though it's actually, you know, if you really look at what the requirements for Infinity Vision, it's actually less than IMAX. But I mean, you know, they're still creating hype behind it as if it were something that is just massively crazy.
Cool. I think that was my last Marvel story. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes. So let's jump back on here and let's get into the next segment here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk DC because we're watching the Watchtower. Still love the graphic on this. Pretty cool.
It would only be better if it had music.
Would it though?
Maybe.
Probably.
Maybe. Who can say? Who can say?
In will they or won't they news, after years of on-again, off-again development, DC Studios has officially scrapped this Booster Gold series, which is, I'm pissed about that. That was once positioned as a comedic cornerstone of Chapter 1. Sources say the decisions came during a broader slate recalibration, with the studio prioritizing projects that directly reinforce the DCU's core mythologies. The character is still expected to appear elsewhere, but his solo outing is no longer moving forward. Okay, that doesn't piss me off as much, as long as we get some kind of Booster Gold. So does cutting Booster Gold streamline the DCU, or is DC losing one of its most unique voices?
I think we're losing out because Booster Gold really hasn't been touched. Yeah, we've seen him in some like DC animation, but he's such one of those characters, like kind of like the Guardians of the Galaxy, where like it's a tragedy and we're watching this tragic story kind of playing out, and all the weaknesses of somebody kind of taking over and seeing what happens, but in a superhero point of view. I really wanted to see Booster Gold happen.
Yeah.
So it sucks for me. I wanted to see it.
What do you think, Greg?
Yeah. Well, ask me what DC properties I've seen of the new DCEU, but I can answer it with one hand and no fingers. But no, it's. I think. I mean, from I know the character, it sounds like a great show, but I think they're going to see what Supergirl did, and they're seeing Marvel pull away from TV shows, and they're probably going, okay, anything that's not currently in production, we're probably going to also kill off.
I don't know necessarily on that, just because James Gunn is trying to do a completely different vision, but what he's doing is it's he's looking at how films are playing out and where they're going and how it's like where they're moving narratively. And I think what he's doing is kind of like changing some things and moving things around in order to fit the narrative that he's doing. And I think just Booster Gold doesn't fit in that narrative anymore. I think that he's probably going to find a way to bring Booster Gold into it. I think that, again, you know, it was officially, we talked about this last week, but it's official that we're getting Blue Beetle in the next Superman movie. So, I mean, you know, that doesn't mean that we're not going to get Booster Gold. Because if we're getting Blue Beetle, again, we need Ted Kord, but like Ted Kord and Booster Gold have a massive relationship. We know Ted Kord is still around, and that's kind of like the next thing with Blue Beetle is for him to figure out what happened to Ted Kord. So, you know, I think Booster Gold is going to play a role in the universe the same way that Gunn likes to bring in a lot of extra characters in the background. And I think he'll do that. You know, he'll end up being a background character. I want to see what Kumail Nanjiani brings to Booster Gold.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that, but I think they always have that else world, so they can always dabble in and let people do weird things into
right
it. Yeah, I think we should just see what Elseworlds can do, and if they do well, bring it into the mainstream, if nothing else.
Zach in the chat has a really good point. He said, I'm starting to doubt a bit that James Gunn has a narrative. Not saying that it's a bad thing, but he's treating the universe as a sandbox without an overarching plot.
I think there is a story that he is trying to tell. You know, there are different seeds that he has planted and put in place. But I think what's going on is he's having to change kind of where that story is going, because it does seem like there are kind of like plot points that he has planted seeds for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's weird that projects keep getting announced but then canceled. So it's like, I see what Zach's saying is that, is there a vision? Is there a narrative if we keep getting chapters pulled out? You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I mean, that's why I'm saying, like, I think at the beginning he was more like, oh yeah, these all sound like good things, and he kind of had like maybe like an end goal in place, and like, oh, these characters can play this role in this. But like as the movies have come out, and you know, especially now that there are films and projects coming out that he is not involved in, he's just the executive producer on. Lanterns being one, obviously Supergirl was one that wasn't his. As much as everybody's saying, oh, it's his entire vision, yeah, it wasn't his movie though. Everybody's blaming everything on him, but it wasn't his film. I think that as these projects are coming out, he's kind of being more like, okay, well, we got to shift focus in these places, or Clayface. You know, it seems like everybody at Warner Brothers is like full hog behind Clayface. And I think that that's also another thing. It's like, okay, cool, we're gonna tell this story. It seems like cool, but then, you know, it ends up being better than he thought it was going to be, and he's probably going like, okay, well, we need to play. Like, he needs to play a part in the overall narrative.
Yeah. Do you think this kind of goes into, like, if you compare everything like phase one of Marvel, where we didn't really know the movies that were coming out? We weren't being previously behind the scenes. We don't know how movies were potentially even canceled in phases 1, 2, and 3 of the MCU. And I think when we have this layout and this game plan ahead of us, like Marvel's been doing now, we see so many things being canceled. We're just like, oh, we missed out, versus don't announce it until it's actually like in pre-production.
No, and I agree with that. I think that they should stop, like, you know, announcing things before they actually have a script. You know, when they're just like, oh yeah, here's a concept doesn't work, so we're scrapping this, right? Like at this point, Checkmate has to happen because they've introduced Checkmate, and the story is so compelling. I want a Checkmate series. You know what I mean? Like, so it's you know, that's something where, because they've announced this, I want to see this. I want to see more with Salvation. You know what I mean? Like, Salvation's run needs to happen, but that leads into New Gods as much as he doesn't want to do New Gods, because Salvation run, the storyline itself is directly tied into the New Gods.
Yeah. It's we'll see. And you know, as Chad pointed out too, and Zach said, we'll know more after Lanterns.
Right. All right, so we spent a lot of time on this. Let's go ahead and move on. As much as I want to keep talking about it, but let's move on to the next story, because speaking of Lanterns, it's a 3-ring problem. The creative team behind Lanterns has revealed new details about how the series will tackle the long-standing mystery surrounding Space Sector 2814's unusual three-ring structure. Early story materials suggest the show will blend grounded detective elements with cosmic lore, using the anomaly as a central narrative engine for Hal and Jon Stewart's investigation. The team emphasized that the explanation will be mythology defining for the DCU. So is Lantern shaping to be the DCU's big cosmic anchor, or is this mystery too ambitious for a first season?
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I'm just excited to see what Lanterns is going to give us. I think they've done a good job of like keeping the mystery alive and not giving too much of the storyline, but giving us the teases that keep us hooked into wanting to know what this show's about.
Right.
I think they're doing a great job with it. I can't wait to see what happens with this. Yeah, and I do want to know why there are 3 lanterns. You know, like if they have a good reason, okay, cool. But what does that mean for the future and the other lanterns? I know we end up talking about Kyle Rayner every week, but I think that means it's going to be farther off where we might not see other lanterns from Earth or Sector, what is it, 2814?
2014, yeah. So with that, I'm excited to see if it's new lore, if they're going to do something new with it. Because in the original lore, the reason that we have 3 lanterns, technically 4 if you bring in the original Green Lantern, but the reason that we have 3 space cops in one sector when usually there's only supposed to be 1 is because Hal is the original, John is the one who is taking over for Hal, and Guy Gardner is his backup. And originally, Guy Gardner was supposed to be the original Green Lantern. I think when the Ring was looking for him, he was in jail, and given he was a cop, but I mean he was in jail, and
it couldn't find him through the.
No, it found him, but it found that it found that he wasn't worthy. Like, how are you a cop and you're in jail? So, because he was indisposed, Hal ended up becoming the Green Lantern of the sector, and Guy Gardner became the backup. And then there was something else that was happening with Guy Gardner when Hal went into space and became like a cosmic Green Lantern, and that's where Jon Stewart became the next Green Lantern, and Guy Gardner was still the backup, right?
Yeah.
So Guy Gardner's always been a backup Green Lantern because he's a fuck up. But I mean, there's a lot of that has to do with that. Kyle Rayner's a whole different.
I think that's where we kind of pick up the story.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think that's where we kind of pick up the story is that transition of and I think they actually say it. He's like, I think Sinestro's like, why you're doing with John, right? He's like, yeah, he's my backup. He's like, is he really your backup? He's like, he's my replacement. So yeah. I think he knows it, but we'll find out why it's happening.
What mythos do you think they're setting up? Do you think they're setting up just the mythos of Green Lanterns, or the mythos of, because of what in Superman that they talk about, there have been metahumans for a couple hundred years on Earth? Are they going to go into that aspect of it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's crazy because the Green Lanterns of the sector have been from different planets. So that's why this is the first Earth Green Lantern, but it's not the first Green Lantern from the sector.
Right. Yeah.
Abin Sur was from the same sector, just not from Earth. That's right. That was the other factor in there. Frey in the chat, thank you for correcting me, saying that it was also because Hal was closer to Abin Sur when Abin Sur passed away.
So distance makes it's like Green's like, he's down the street. This guy's a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Distance makes the Ring grow fonder.
Yeah. But yeah, so that is what I've got for DC news. That's pretty much it here.
Nice.
All right, then let's go ahead and jump into this next sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, this show and everything that we do here is brought to you by the good folks over at Dubby. That's right. W is a brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. W contains no maltodextrin, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Find out more about W at www.w.gg. Use the code NERDING10 and get 10% off your order. Easy Money saying, forgot the show was today. That's fine, man. No worries. So yes, get you some of that W goodness, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and move on to our next segment. It's time to get into the downloads. It's time to get into the news. And starting off all that news, we're going to talk about the one shots.
Insert music here.
Dun 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 dun. Done.
All right, Grave, you want to do this one?
Of course, I want to do this one. That's for sure. Studio showdown with two Nightmare on Elm Street remakes in development. Is Hollywood big enough with two Freddys? A surprising rights-driven tug of war has resulted in two separate Nightmare on Elm Street remakes entering development in competing studios, each aiming to redefine Freddy Krueger for a modern audience.
How can this happen? Who has the rights to this?
New Line Cinema. New Line Cinema owns the rights to Freddy Krueger.
But how can two different things be, or are they just like, all right, well, we'll give you both rights, go write the scripts or whatever you're gonna do, and whichever one we like better, that's the one we do?
That's more than likely what's happening. That's more than likely what's happening.
Yes.
Is they're giving it to different writers and directors and saying, hey, do a script treatment. Tell me what you give me your idea of what a rebooted Freddy Krueger could be, and we'll go with whoever has the better story.
I don't know why they didn't knock on my door. I already have the story lined up.
Nice.
Should go to New Line and pitch it, dude.
Give us a tease.
The tease? Sleep paralysis is Freddy Krueger. And that's why we have a rise of sleep paralysis and sleep apnea across the world. It's him trying to come back.
Ooh. That's why I snore, is because of Freddy Krueger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Makes sense.
If we killed Freddy, we would make our wives happier.
Oh, he comes back. And I think that's what they can also look at, because Freddy Krueger is in the lore, not getting too deep into it, is a dream demon that is an ancient deity that just happens to take the figure of Freddy Krueger. It's not any different than a Cenobite or Pinhead, as anything can be a Cenobite or a Pinhead. Mm-hmm. It's just a person. So it doesn't have to be Freddy Krueger, as long as you don't do what they tease at the end of Freddy's Dead, with it's going to be his daughter at this point in time.
Spoiler alert.
From a movie that's 37 years old. Yes.
All right. Okay.
How do you guys feel? What do you think?
Well, you know what? I do like how some of these nostalgia pieces are coming back, but there's like really good interpretations of them. And just like how, like the way the He-Man Masters of the Universe for Netflix show came out, it was like what we know, it was nostalgia based, but it leveled up. That's what I want these projects, these reboots to be like. Take what we know about it and level it up. Raise the stakes instead of just churning something else, a carbon copy, a Xerox of it out.
Mm-hmm. I kind of agree with that. Like my whole thing with this is, I want something that acknowledges the lore, that acknowledges what's there, but not necessarily, kind of doing something campy and silly and dumb. But like, okay, let's reinterpret and let's do something that evokes the feelings from the movie in 1979. You know what I mean? Like you get that kind of feeling from the first Nightmare on Elm Street, but at the same time, like he's a threat again. He has like the quips and everything like that, but he's also a threat again, rather than just kind of being, kind of a silly, campy monster.
Yeah. As long as they don't go back to the room where this is where Freddy did, let's bone. That was horrible in 2010.
Well, yeah, okay. So like again, things like that, like dumb, hey, like goon bait stuff, like yep. Oh yeah, we want to put like a unnecessary boob scene, which again, boobs are fine, but I mean, like if it doesn't help add to the narrative and it's just gratuitously there for no reason, just exit. Like give it if you're learning anything from all the horror movies that have been coming out in the last 2 years, where they're focusing on extremely well done, well told stories that happen to have these gruesome monsters in it, whether it's gruesome in the way that like the evils of humanity, or gruesome in the way of it being a monster. You know what I mean? Like do something where you are adding to the lore of Freddy Krueger in a way that is not completely a joke, but also makes Freddy that credible threat all over again. And that makes us want to go to the theaters and say, oh my God, like it solidifies how much I love Freddy Krueger as a character. That's what I want. I want a movie that makes me feel that I am not, my love for the character is not misplaced.
Yeah, Freddy needs to get his groove back.
He really does.
That's the name of the reboot.
Just like Camp Crystal Lake, the show seems like it's going to be something that takes his origin a little more seriously, and that's kind of like, I mean, hopefully it does. If they go overly campy with it, it'll kind of piss me off. But I mean, it seems like what they're doing is trying to tell a more serious, sinister story with it. And again, you look at what Zach Cregger's been doing, right? You look at what a lot of these directors, what they've been doing with their films, and taking serious takes on horror and making them very cinematic movies. I want a new Freddy Krueger to be in that vein.
Yeah. Great. Sure. This is kind of a perfect question for you. What is your take on the whole reboot situation of these horror classics? Like, what's your opinion on Evil Dead Burn?
Evil Dead Burn was the worst Evil Dead movie of them all.
Okay, well, great. Here we go with the reboots.
It's not a reboot. It is a new entry in the existing property, because there's 3 books in Army of Darkness, and Sam Raimi has a book, Eddie Alvarez has a book, and Lee Cronin has his book that's also shared with this other guy. But I think if done well, we need to do it, because slashers really died in the early 90s. And I think the popularity of like things like Terrifier are bringing them back, hopefully to the right place.
Nice. I like it.
All right. But, she's bringing As If back. Paramount Plus has officially greenlit a limited sequel series to Clueless, with Alicia Silverstone returning, marking her first time leading the franchise since the 1995 film. That's interesting. Do you think, since technically we had characters cross over from the movie into the TV show, that they'll acknowledge that TV show?
Ooh, good question. The Clueless verse.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the crappy TV show in the late 90s that they did? That was
yes, but that everyone came back for except Alicia.
Yeah.
I'm
sure they will. I'm sure they'll because what it seems like is if this is something that's adding, if Alicia Silverstone is coming back and they're adding into this world, I would want Alicia Silverstone having to deal with her kids being the same rich, bratty, Beverly Hills attitude kids that she had. And her growing as a character over time and being like, oh my God, this is what I was like when I was a kid. It's kind of like adding to the coming of age story that we have out there, but it's her growing up and dealing with the consequences of her actions as a kid.
Yeah, I think that would be good. I kind of want to see what they do with that. I do like that Alicia Silverstone is back. I don't like when they do kind of a continuation or a reboot without some kind of connection to the original.
I feel like
I feel like it's kind of lifeless when that happens. So, that says a lot when she's on board to come back. So that's good.
Well, it's good because she's been making her comeback throughout the past couple of years in horror. And now she's coming back to really what made her famous.
Right, comedy.
Yep. All right. Well, is this hat going to be 2 sizes too small? Amazon's producing a new animated Mad Hatter movie with the Grinch co-director Scott Mosier attached to helm the project. Ooh.
Okay.
Do you think that these animated versions do well? Do you think that the Cat in the Hat cartoon was better, or the Grinch version was better than the live action? I don't think so.
I think they do well. I think they do well with the generation that they're targeting. A lot of these kids, like, you know, James's kids are the target audience for stuff like this. And his kids.
James is too, though.
James has 3. Oh yeah. James is, because if he likes it, his kids will like it. That's usually most of the time in there. But I mean, like, it's. I've heard a lot of people who talk about how much they actually enjoyed the Grinch, the new Grinch movie. I actually still haven't seen it, and it's because I'm not the target audience for that. You know, I'm kind of like, oh, we have to do another one, like, you know, and it's like, okay, well, it's Illumination. The only reason I do want to watch it is because Illumination did it, and Illumination films are usually pretty good.
But I also think this is a little bit of an IP grab for Amazon to be like, okay, what can we do? What can we produce that will be for kids, but will also connect to adults? Like, where we can have some built-in, like, oh, I know what that is. Have you ever seen Alice in Wonderland? Let's watch it. You know, I think there's going to be a lot of that happening of IPs that we kind of know but aren't quite Disney. And then studios like Amazon or Illumination will start pumping a bunch of that stuff out.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Like, they're going to probably tell us a story within that universe. It's one that Disney doesn't have their hands in because it's Amazon. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the Mad Hatter. Because if it's a animated movie about just the Mad Hatter, you know, is it him before he meets Alice? Is it him after, you know, he meets Alice and stuff like that? Like, is the March Hare going to be in it? Like, how's the story going to play out? You know what I mean?
Oh, I just envision them taking the wrong message from the live action Alice in Wonderlands, and it's going to be Johnny Depp's Mad Hatter-esque. Those movies were about the Mad Hatter. Let's face it.
They were very much about the Mad Hatter.
Yeah, you're right. I definitely could see that them leaning into that. But I think is that a Disney property still? Yeah.
Yeah, that was still Disney.
Yeah.
Disney. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see. I don't know when is Alice in Wonderland in public domain.
I think it already
That's
is.
what I was thinking. I think it is now. I'll look it up.
I think it's been in public domain for a while.
I'm just saying we didn't have Alice in Wonderland in the Winnie the Pooh universe yet, so I just don't. I didn't.
No, but the video game, I think when they did that, Alice, I think that's when it was in public domain.
2013.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. So the original book, Alice Adventures in Wonderland, written by Lewis Carroll in 1865, and it's like in full public domain.
Yeah, so that would have been 1965 when it went into public domain. It's 100 years after the original publish.
So what you're saying is I can make a Mad Hatter movie.
You could easily. You can make Mad Hatter just like some crazy villain. What you got to do is, you know, if you know the story of why the Mad Hatter is mad, it's because hat makers back then, in order to shape their hats, would put, what was it, mercury in the hats, and that caused a lot of, like, it was a common trope that hatters were crazy because they had so much mercury floating around their head. So like easily you can make a horror film about a dude that is just, you know, has mercury poisoning and is just murdering people because he's nuts.
Well, it'd be, you know, Mercury's in retrograde.
There you go.
But yeah, speaking of video games, who's your god now? Amazon's God of War adaptation may undergo a major casting shift as Dave Bautista talks to take over the role of Kratos, replacing Ryan Hurst, who had the severe injury while filming season 1.
Absolutely crazy. So he tore a bicep, which I just found out. There was another actor towards the end of filming a more recent film also tore his bicep. I'm trying to remember who it was. It'll come to me later. But like, Ryan Hurst tore a bicep in the middle of filming. That fucking sucks. Yeah. And Amazon was just like, yeah, we can't wait to until that heals, because it takes like 6 months to a year to heal that. So they were like, yeah, no. So we're gonna recast. Dave Bautista is a good pick for that, mainly because Dave Bautista. What movie did he just do where he just bulked up?
He bulked down.
Well, so he's lost a bunch of weight, but he just did another film recently where he had to bulk back up again.
Was that the one with like the Badlands?
I don't think it was. I was reading something where they were talking about how Dave Bautista just bulked back up for another role, so he's back to being like muscular Dave Bautista, and it's like just in time for him to play Kratos.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Hey,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna chime in. Were you thinking of Chris Evans
No.
from Civil War? Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Here's the thing about Kratos, though. If you look at the original games, he was like Black Panther fit, not bulky like Captain America. He was always pretty lean because he was a Spartan, but he wasn't hugely jacked at all. And I see I'm saying Triple H literally looks the part, but I'm sorry, I love
H
those
too old.
people. Well, Dave Bautista's about the same age.
Probably older. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's saying he just. That's what it was. Highlander.
Okay.
Because he played the Kurgan in Highlander, so they're saying that he just bulked up to play the Kurgan in Highlander, and he's coming fresh off of that to go and do Kratos.
I don't know. I have mixed feelings because I love God of War, and I don't want to get the Halo TV show treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and especially as they have Atreus in this, that it's going to be the older immortal god. So I think maybe if Dave Bautista played an older version of him, but if we got the 20-year-old Spartan, I think that'd been better.
It's pretty good. I like that. I like it. I'm open to it. I mean, Dave Bautista's, part Filipino, so he definitely gets my vote. But if he doesn't get it, I'm just interested to see the story.
He actually he's somebody who identifies as being Filipino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you sometimes. So it's all good when there's food around.
Exactly. I become hella Pinoy. No, James, you were right. It was Chris Evans. Chris Evans tore.
I told you that's what you were thinking.
He tore his bicep at the end of filming for more recently. He tore his bicep. No, it wasn't him. It was the Invincible actor. What's his name?
Oh, J.K. Simmons?
No, the dude who plays Invincible. Yeah.
Steve Yeun?
Steve Yeun just at the end of the last movie he did, he just tore his bicep too.
I was about to say, like, that's pretty method acting if you tore it for voiceover work in the cartoon.
No. He just did something live action. And he said, like, at the end of filming, he tore his bicep.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Well, I think they were only like 4 episodes in to the show, and I think they said they were gonna just redo all those episodes. So,
yeah,
it is what it is.
Which means somewhere out there we're going to be able to see Ryan Hurst as Kratos if we can ever get our hands on that footage.
Oh man, he's become the Eric Stoltz of the franchise.
God, he will. He will. All right, let's go ahead and move on.
In Shut Up and Take My Money news, the creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender have teased a new secret TV series already deep into production, expanding the franchise beyond previously announced projects. Again, like what I said last week, this is like the year of Avatar.
Shut up and take my money.
They put out 3 big projects. They got another one in the works that's deep into production. I think that's pretty cool that they're expanding the Avatar universe world and they're all in on it.
So, James, have you watched it yet?
No, I haven't.
Avatar Aang, you haven't watched it yet?
No.
Graveyard, have you watched Avatar Aang?
I only support one Avatar, and that's by M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
Okay. You support the bad one. Okay. So I've been saying this since the movie came out, because I watched it like the next night after it came out. I am royally pissed off at Paramount for not putting that in theaters, because that movie deserves to be in theaters. So
They put it in theaters?
Okay, in 2 theaters that nobody can fucking go to. Okay, just
For like 5 days.
For like 5 days because they want to be able to say enter it in for an Oscar for best animated film.
You can rent out a theater and put your own movie on. You can go ahead and put it on whatever theater you want.
True. I could literally go to a theater right now and have them put it on. But I mean, like, okay, so Avatar: Aang, The Last Airbender, the movie itself was really fucking good. Deserved the big screen treatment. It would have killed in theaters. Now, given how good that is, what does excite me is that they've already been in production for a TV show, because I think they already knew this movie is really good. People are going to want more of Aang as an adult, because I 100% want more of Aang as an adult. He's, he went from this happy-go-lucky, kid to being, saving the world and getting more serious and having so much character growth through those seasons of Avatar: The Last Airbender, to now you're getting a fully realized Avatar Aang in this movie. And like, it's seamless. Like it's crazy how one of the things I noticed, because I tried to pay attention to this, one of the things I noticed is how balanced he was in the bending that he did. So like, when he was a kid, he used a lot of air bending because he was an airbender. But like, if you watch how he's grown, he uses every element in ways where, like, it makes the most sense for what he's doing at the time. And like, he almost barely ever uses airbending. It's crazy. Just how good and how like amazing the action scenes are in this film. I want to see more of that because it felt more anime than the original. It felt even more anime than the original. And I was like, I hope they do something with this. So knowing that they've actually already been developing a TV show for it, probably already like animating it, it gets me excited to see what they're going to do with it next.
Yeah, I like it. I wonder how they're going to set up the timeline, because we have Aang, not Ong from M. Night Shyamalan, not Ong, but Aang from the cartoons. And then we have the Netflix series, which is kind of the reimagining. We have Korra. But then we're going to have this Seven Havens, which is like future. I wonder what they're going to do more with this whole Avatar universe timeline thing, because we're like in so many different times and eras. I hope it's more Aang though. I do like Aang, not Ong.
I would love to see with Seven Havens. I'd love to see Aang as an avatar in the avatar state, and kind of like imbuing wisdom, like imbuing wisdom to the new avatar. Also, just to see kind of as much, again, everybody hates on Korra, but like seeing what Korra looks like as an adult.
Yeah, I agree. I like it. That's good. Okay, let's move on to some Disney news.
Yay.
The real question is, how's my hair? How's my hair, guys?
Good, as always.
I know. I just wanted to hear it. New set photos from Disney's live-action Tangled offers the first glimpse of Rapunzel and Flynn Rider, showcasing the film's grounded fairy tale aesthetic. How do you feel about these animated movies becoming live-action? Disney's kind of reusing the same, rehashing their stories over and over.
I think Disney needs to fall back a little bit, man. As far as like these live action films, I know you're not gonna like this, James, but Moana did not do well, and a lot of their live action remakes are kind of, they feel like cash grabs more than they feel like genuine creativity. The only exception to that rule would be Lilo and Stitch, because they did change some of the story, and they did do it in a way that felt just as fun, if not more fun, than the original. So I think they understood that there are things you can do in animation that make more sense in animation, and they were like, we're going live action, we need to change a couple of things, and they found that groove with specifically with Lilo and Stitch, with ways to make Stitch just as fun as the original while still changing the way his character is portrayed.
Grave, how do you feel about a live action Tangled?
This is, I think, with Disney going into the 3D animation versus the 2D, essentially for Tangled being the first one. My wife personally loves Tangled. My kids love Tangled. I think Moana was way too close to the original to of it being having nostalgia because it was less than a decade, and we're reaching back a little bit more in time to it. But I think they should just stick to their older stuff to remake it for the new generation, because like Cinderella was only 57 minutes as original animated, and they also they did Snow White, but it's live action. I think now's the time to do it because hair aesthetics and CGI has come a long way. It's supposed to look like the fire from the first Shrek if we had it 20 years ago. I think it is a cash grab. I think they should focus on new and more original stories instead of remakes.
I keep saying that. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
So my take is I love these stories, and I do enjoy some of the live action. I do get Moana didn't do well in the box office, but yeah, like what you're saying, Lilo and Stitch did well. That was awesome. I really enjoyed Maleficent and the story that they told from a different point of view. I like that kind of stuff. So I'm okay with it becoming live action. I do love that the actors for this new live action Tangled movie. So I'm kind of in. I kind of want to see it. I love Tangled as well. I am a little sad that we don't get to see Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi back in those roles, because they've been the only ones to play those roles in all the different pieces that Tangled's done.
To include in Frozen.
Exactly.
All right. Again, with all this, Maleficent, I felt was different because they were telling a different version of the story, and they were telling something new, and they were ambitious in what they were doing. Whereas a lot of these other stories, they're just telling one-to-one stories, or they're just telling, hey, let's retell the same exact story but live action. It's yeah. I feel like the way you succeed with this, like truly succeed with this, is doing something different, and that's where again, me and Grave were just talking about doing something creatively outside of the box that is something that is just more creative versus, hey, we don't know what to do, so let's just go and remake a movie that's already a movie.
Yeah, exactly. What on the flip side of that, Disney listened, and then they made a new animated movie called Elio, and you guys both went out and saw it. How did it do?
It did terribly. But
because you didn't go see it.
But that was also Pixar. That was also Pixar. And
it wasn't Pixar. That was Disney.
No, it was Pixar.
Your face is Pixar.
I looked at. I double checked it. It was Pixar. And what sucks about that is Disney also did zero promotion for it. I remember seeing the trailer and getting excited for it, and then never hearing about it again. Disney did no promotion for it. So it's kind of like, at the same time, how are we supposed to go out and go see this movie when Disney's not promoting it? Disney is not saying anything about it, and they're like, we barely even knew that the movie was in theaters. Yep. And that's a fail on Disney's side.
They did try to do something new.
They did, but at the same time, they didn't promote it. So how are we supposed to know that the movie's in theaters? Like
Wish. They did Wish. Wish was something new. Come on.
Again, they barely promoted it.
Just give me a live action Fox and the Hound, you cowards.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
You need the pissed off racist dog. There we go.
Okay, one more Disney story. Do the face. Do the face. Disney is reportedly trying to bring Macaulay Culkin back for a new Home Alone reboot, with discussions focused on how to integrate him into a modern storyline. Again, another reboot. Can we reboot Home Alone? Is that okay?
I'm okay with the reboot if the story makes sense. Again, I don't want soulless cash grabs. I don't want, hey, we've got Macaulay Culkin, let's do another Home Alone. But why? Is there a story there that makes sense and makes me want to go watch that movie? Or is it just on name brand alone? Is it, Macaulay Culkin is doing another Home Alone, you have to go to the theaters to see Macaulay Culkin doing another Home Alone?
It's more story probably than 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Because the first
Well,
two
and
movies were the only ones that mattered. Again, the other movies were just other kids trying to do the same thing as like, oh, this is Macaulay Culkin's character, but like,
yeah. I think number 3 was still Kevin McAllister, but just a different.
Oh God, was he
actor.
still Kevin McAllister?
Yes.
That's terrible.
Yeah, so Kevin McAllister's been there, and I think Buzz actually came back for a couple of those as Buzz.
No. Again, if they're gonna do this, this is one of those stories where I don't mind it being. I don't mind them doing the Halloween treatment and saying, let's go ahead and get rid of all the movies in between, and now this movie is the third movie. But if they do that again, it needs to have a story that makes sense. It needs to be Kevin McAllister, is a careful dad, and is like, yeah, my parents left me home alone a couple times. I would never do that, and then he does it.
Something along those lines. But I think they're starting with, can we get Macaulay Culkin? Because again, we need that legacy attached to this type of film.
Yeah, I think they missed their boat, especially with both of his parents from the movies. Now the actors being dead. Yeah.
Again, it needs to make sense. That's the whole thing. Is if they're going to reboot the franchise, the story needs to be something that it falls in line with the rest of the story that's there, and it needs to be something that is good enough and not just phoning it in to try and cash grab on. We've got Macaulay Culkin doing Home Alone again.
What he could do is he gets left home alone, goes into the attic, and finds his dad's old battle plans.
Oh, dude. Yeah, like Macaulay Culkin's son.
Yeah,
finds Macaulay Culkin's things, and then like oh my God, if you got the original fucking Sticky Bandits to come in, that'd be so great.
Yeah, see, Disney, call me. I can write the story.
There you go.
Because both of them are still alive. Both of them are still acting.
Yeah.
By the way, in the chat, Natavo says Home Alone 3 was terrible. That's the first time I've ever seen Matt say he hated something.
First time ever.
Now you know it's bad.
So now you know it's bad. There you go. Okay, I think that was my last Disney.
I think so. So that means we are on to our last sponsor, John. Actually, Graveyard, do you have it in front of you? Could you read the last sponsor plug, or do you want James to do it?
Do I have it in front of me? I do not have it.
It's under the outline.
Is it? Let's see here. Yeah. All right. So Distance Learning is part of the Geek Freaks Network.
Woohoo!
Discovering your latest binge, debating casting choices, and still not over the plot twist. The Geek Freaks Network has got you covered. Your fandom, your community, your people. Geek out your way. Check out the Geek Freaks Network at gfpods.com.
You're a wizard, Harry.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on. Let's get into the last two headlines here. So both of our last two headlines are going to be Star Wars stories. So let's jump into this. Let me make sure I've got the screen here right. Boom. All right. Boom. Yeah, I just had to get everything right. The Jedi were merely sleeping. Lucasfilm dropped the first trailer for Visions Presents The Ninth Jedi, and it's already signaling a major tonal shift for the anthology brand. The footage leans into a post-Order era where the Jedi legacy is fractured, with the story centered on a young lightsaber smith tasked with reigniting the mythos. The trailer showcases new saber designs, a mysterious council of Force sensitives, and a visual style that blends classic samurai framing with high fantasy cosmic energy. This isn't just another Visions short. It's positioned as a flagship expansion, hinting at the future where Jedi storytelling can exist outside the Skywalker timeline while still feeling unmistakably Star Wars. If a whole new era of Jedi is about to ignite, should we start practicing our dramatic lightsaber ignition poses now, or should we do that later?
I do that. I do my lightsaber poses in the secret of my own room by myself.
I do it naked in the shower.
Yeah.
My saber's also not charged, so
You're dead. You're dead. Sorry.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty cool hilt, though.
The worst Jedi ever.
Star Wars needs to do something different, as you said, get out of the Skywalker saga, hands down. There's so many stories. you've heard me complain about it a lot. Salem tells me to shut up about the expanded universe, the EU. It's never going to happen. Like just take some pieces, bring them back in. There's so many other good stories to tell.
No, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with this, again, this is kind of a new era for Star Wars to kind of like play with. I also feel like this is the perfect story to pull from Visions. Ninth Jedi was very fun as far as the storyline goes, so them expanding on that and doing something that is, post Jedi Order, but also bringing in new elements into Star Wars. I feel like it's something that is like sorely needed. And given that Star Wars in itself was inspired by Kurosawa, if you have Japanese visionaries that are bringing kind of like that Kurosawa vision back into Star Wars, I think there's nothing but good that can come from this.
I agree. I think Visions really broke the mold for Star Wars, like in a good way. Like, hey, we don't have to stick to this Skywalker Saga, or we don't have to link to the extended universe, and we can do something new and fresh and be crazy and different. And if it works because people will love Star Wars as long as the stories are good. So like this, the Ninth Jedi, the Ronin one, like the very first piece that they put out on Visions, amazing. Let them play, let them cook with all these different inspirations of how people interpret Star Wars and being a Jedi or using the Force. I'm all for it.
I agree.
I love it. And charge your lightsabers, everybody. That's what you're learning.
Stay safe. Charge your saber.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the last story that we have set up for the night here. Sorry, I've got like 12 pages I've got to go through to do anything on this. All right. Are we talking Commando Jedi? Because I think we're talking Commando Jedi. I think we're doing some Commando Jedi stuff here. Eugene in the chat right now. Is your Commando Jedi? That's right. Lucasfilm has confirmed new story details about Rey's upcoming film, including her controversial blueprint for rebuilding the Jedi Order. Instead of restoring the old hierarchy, Rey's approach focuses on individualized training, non-traditional Force users, and a structure that rejects the rigid dogma that defined the prequel era Jedi. The reveal emphasizes that Rey's order will be smaller, more adaptive, and less centralized, with the Force treated as a spectrum rather than a binary. It's a philosophical pivot that positions Rey not as the next Grand Master, but as the architect of a new Jedi identity, one that could reshape the franchise's future storytelling for decades. Rey's rebuilding the Jedi. What's the first note she should write? New rules or fewer dramatic prophecies?
First rule, it's okay to have family. That's weird. It's okay to date. How about that?
Yeah. First rule about Jedi is you don't talk about Jedi.
I hope they actually do a story about why they had to steal children away, and like traffic these Force users. It's a little weird, but whatever.
I mean, you're recruited involuntarily into the Galactic Police.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Though, okay, so again, this is a book. I do like their sprinkling stories in between what we know of the movies, which will make you appreciate the movies more. But also, I don't plan on reading this book. They should have found ways to put stuff like this into the movies, because this would be interesting.
Right.
Visually, not just read as a book.
Yeah, man, it's interesting. I'd like to see. Phil knows this too. If she's going to be rebuilding the Jedi Order, I'm going to pull it back from the last storyline. Is I want the Sith planet to be found. I don't want the big bad to come from her pupils, and that we have Kylo Ren all over again. I want an external force outside the known region to come in and be the antagonist of it. Even bring the Vong into it as well. Why
The
not?
Yuzhan Vong would be cool.
Yeah.
And I would love to see the Yuzhan Vong into the storyline, but I don't know. There's a couple of different like characters and villains that you could bring in that would be really fun in all this. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of potential for what they could do with all this.
Yeah. We need to see what happens because we've only gone in Star Wars media only 130-ish years past the Skywalker Saga with Kate Skywalker, and I'm still waiting for James Mangold's 10,000 years before, so no character we know can ever show up in that.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. I hate when they put out these books that are like really good band-aids for in between the movies, and you're like, why wasn't I visually shown this? It frustrates me so much when we get stuff like this.
Well, because you have to create Thrawn in the 90s, get it retconned, and then recreate it again 30 years later.
I guess.
Grand Admiral Thrawn coming back as a different character.
All right, was that our last story?
That was our last story.
We did it. We did the thing.
We did it, guys.
Woo.
We did it. Yay, everybody clap your hands.
Move along.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about our schedule. That's right. Our schedule typically would be Tuesday nights. We do distance nerding from 6:30 to 8:30. Now, of course, we had to move it. I had surgery on Thursday. It's okay, guys. I can see. My vision is okay now.
You can see colors?
I can see funny colors.
You're fine. We're all fine.
That's right.
How are you?
Now, Thursdays typically would be the build, and the build is from 6 to 8 o'clock. Again, we did not have a guest this week, so we went and did move the show to today, and you guys are getting a preview of what we do every Tuesday. Fridays, The Buzzer from 6:30 to 8:30. Typically, this is our game show. Graveyard, do you know if we got anything that we're planning this week?
I'm going to be filming, so I don't know what you guys are doing. But
okay.
But next week, Jet Nerdy Summer Edition.
Jet Nerdy Summer Edition. So be ready for that. Now, guys, next week on the build, our guest is going to be, I have written down, Matt Hodson, who is the writer of the new Biker Mice from Mars comic series. So that's going to be a fun interview. Both me and Grave will be here next week, and we will be talking with Matt Hodson about the Biker Mice from Mars series, as well. I believe he's got, he's also writing the new Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's going to be fun. We'll be talking about that, having that conversation because comic books rule, and we'll be talking about that. So with that being said, Graveyard, you're the only one here with any lingering pluggables, sir. Go ahead and give us all of your plugs.
Yes, I'm Graveyard Coast, the Mostly Pod of the Night, Mostly Podcast.
Mostly
Pod.
at night. Mostly.
New episode dropped an hour ago. It should have posted. I believe it did. And fun enough, as we talked about Nightmare on Elm Street, we're doing Nightmare on Elm Street for the next 3 episodes.
No way. Okay. I kind of was waiting for this because you guys just recently did all the Friday the 13th. So like, when are they going to do Nightmare on Elm Street? And here we are. Perfect.
Yes. Because I let Salem pick everything for his birthday month. So for my birthday month, he's like, we're doing Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm like, let's do it.
Nice. I just got caught back up on your guys' episodes. So
yeah, we have that going on. And next week or the week after, I think I'm doing 4 interviews on Conversations in the Void.
4 next week? Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm doing 2 in a day. That's crazy. I don't know how that happened, but that's what we're doing. It's going gangbusters. We're booking out almost the rest of the year at this point in time, so we're excited. And we are, of course, with all my free time, starting another show. We are going to use bookstores and find the worst sci-fi cover books that we possibly can for stories we don't know for $1 or $2, and we're going to be reviewing sci-fi books.
Oh, I can't wait for that. That is a fever dream of They Mostly Pot Out at Night. I'm so excited to hear you guys review bad sci-fi books.
No, we each picked out 3 books, and I have Eric Ruiz working on the cover. I'm like, all right, it's an astronaut in space, but looks at really, really bad 70s sci-fi book cover.
This is so good. Awesome. Perfect place for you to plug that, because I'm so excited to
Real quick,
hear this.
What is the YouTube channel? It's at Pod Out at Night.
Pod Out at Night, yes. And the new show will be Whispers from the Deep.
But also on
yes,
way to repurpose that name. Yeah. He had another show planned for that never worked out. So it's like a way to repurpose that. That's great. I love it. That is awesome, man. I'm so happy to hear that. So, of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to join the taco party, you can head over to distancenerding.com. Join the taco party, of course. Connect with us on all the social media places if it exists. We are there at Distance Nerding. Or, of course, if you want to send us an email, you can shoot us an email at distancenerding@aol.com, and we will read that live on air. So, with that being said, Brucey boy, time to go to bed.
Go to sleep, Bruce.
Go to sleep, Bruce.
Oh, you hear? We're telling
Sandra just got here when we're telling Bruce to go to bed. James, take us home, bud.
Thanks, and keep nerding together, everybody.
That's right. We will catch everybody on either tomorrow or more than likely on Tuesday. Peace.
Bye.
Distance Nerding.
This was a production of the Distance Nerding Podcast and Time for Tacos Media. For more content, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok, all at Distance Nerding. If you enjoy our content, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks, and keep nerding together.